is money here anymore.
Alright. And now we're recording, and the podcast has begun.
Welcome, one and all, to Life in the World to Come, where I, Will Wood, and my co-host Chris Dunn are going to be answering your questions and teaching you folks all that we know about survival in the world to come after the event.
This is a very subdued episode of the podcast.
We're already off to a slow start.
We're going to be very calm. We're going to be very sensual.
We want to make sure that everybody listening feels as welcome and relaxed
and horny as they possibly can.
So, rev up those dicks. Let's start.
Man, already, huh? No, see, this is better. This is better than just like, what are we... Because look, if we start the podcast over, we're going to do the same thing, but worse. Like, it's going to, like... We're just going to start slow and then say something gross about our dicks. It's going to be the same.
How's it going to be worse? How does it get worse than that?
Well, imagine what better than this is like. What would better than this be? What are we going to do? Fucking...
Not something that we are capable of, I'll tell you that. Better than this? I don't know. I can picture it, but it's not us.
We're not going to tell them to look under their seats, and there's not going to be... I mean, we can tell them to look under their seats, but there won't be a car there.
There won't be a car, but there will be a bazooka. Because you're going to need one. Because in the world to come, we're all going to be hoping that we have a bazooka under our seats.
We went to each and every single one of your houses in the night. You're wondering why you woke up and your window was broken. It was us. We went in your house, and we put a bazooka under your chair.
Now, we committed a crime, but now you have a bazooka.
It was very easy, because there's 11 of you.
Yes, it was... We only had to commit 11 crimes, and we only needed to get 11 bazookas.
You look a little uncomfortable that I revealed the number of people who listen to this podcast.
It's not usually my style.
Yeah, no. You like
is to talk about...
You like to pretend that you're already very famous.
Well, that's a marketing thing. And I'm ready to just say that.
Well, this podcast is all about honesty and the truth.
All right.
So let's get into the fucking vampires and radiation and fucking death bats.
All
okay.
Right. So...
just jump into it?
Or
do we want to fuck around for another 10 minutes?
I'm really down for whatever. I'm just floundering to come up with some response to the wild accusation that I'm not already incredibly famous. So, I have a significant fan base in Mother Russia. That's actually
is that true?
It's actually
I believe
kind
that
of true.
If you told me.
I found there's like a Russian version of Facebook called VK, and people were sharing my music on there.
That actually, for some reason, that checks out.
Yeah,
like, your music is kind of like that. I know you don't like being classified as cabaret punk, but like there's kind of like a...
It's got the Eastern European scale work, yeah. It's whatever it is, I'm extremely famous. I'm known all around the world. This face, just, fucking...
I wonder if they heard that. I wonder if they heard you throw that cap across the room.
It was out of frustration and anxiety. All right, now that I've sufficiently
now that I've ruined you,
I'm broken.
Now that I've ruined you and everyone knows you're a fraud. Let's get into our. This is a podcast about the apocalypse, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Just go right into it? Just do some questions?
All right, listen, folks. What we do here on Life in the World to Come... All right, but I just want to clarify.
Okay.
Is we answer questions that were sent to us via our email address, lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com. Questions about how to survive in the world to come after the event, the apocalypse that is impending. It will happen soon.
Real questions from real listeners, all 10 of you.
All...
Oh, you hate it. You just
all
hate
of
it
you,
so much.
All of you who are listening right now, every one of you who... We had to sift through so many emails. And it took hours to pick out the emails that we found were the most...
The many, because
the
there's
most
only 10 of
pertinent-
you, but you all sent in 30 emails.
the most... the information that was the most important for us to answer. Questions that were seen the most pressing. The ones that we needed to make sure we were addressing as soon as possible. So, on the forefront of our consciousness today, on our list of priorities today, are the following questions. Well, we're going to answer them one by one.
We're going to answer them one by one. It would be weird if we didn't.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if we tried to answer all of them at the same time.
Well, what I meant to say is like, I meant to explain, it sounded like I was going to say what all the questions were, and then we were going to answer them. We'll let you know as we go along. We want to keep you, looped in and keep you Anyway, these questions come from listeners who are listening, and they are about... we're going to give you tips and tricks. I feel like that probably got picked up by the mic.
It's good. That's passion.
All right, tips and tricks and skills that you need to master and information on how to best get a leg up in the terrifying, mysterious, blood-drenched, smoky, and very sexy world to come.
All right. That was a good intro.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
We managed to kill 6 minutes, so that's good.
All right.
Ready? Okay.
Hold on, my mom texted me.
All right. I'm not going to stop recording.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I didn't expect you to.
Yeah, we're just going to go through this. Or we could just, I don't know, we could have a good 30 seconds of dead air.
I mean, that's...
You done already?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm done. She's going to text back, but...
Okay.
Am I ruining this?
No, this is my favorite episode so far.
Okay, cool, awesome.
This is us just yeah. We should just fucking give up on the apocalypse thing.
Yeah, let's just talk about the fact that we're making a podcast.
We played Altered Beast earlier and it was weird.
It was so much fun.
It was very fun and
let's
I liked it.
Let's talk about video games instead of the fucking apocalypse.
This is a video game podcast now. There's more of a market for that anyway.
Seriously? Yeah.
Probably, right?
I mean, if we just
it's like any hobbyist podcast.
Yeah, but the problem with video game podcast, I'm crackling.
I was
it's a terrible
weighing
sound.
the pros and cons of pointing out the crackling of that bottle live on the podcast.
Okay, sorry guys. The problem with a video game podcast is that podcasts are an audio format and video games are a video format. So I don't know how you
it's fun to hear people talk about things that you like,
I guess you're right. Yeah. All right, Altered Beast. We recommend it if you can find yourselves a copy of it for Sega Genesis. It's a terrifying
I'm sure that look, anyone in the know is fucking telling us, is rolling their eyes because we're such fucking normies. We just discovered Altered Beast. Like the guy like your friend who's like, oh man, I just discovered this movie called The Room.
Yeah.
We might be that guy, but fucking Altered Beast is fucking hilarious.
It's a really real experience.
It's very good.
Bubsy 3D, get that one.
I'm a discarded physician. Wait, no, shit. I'm a disgraced physician. Will the apocalypse provide me with a second chance? I remember I wrote down... It autocorrected to discarded, and I just left it, because I'm like, I'll know what it is when the time comes.
I'm a discarded physician.
This is a train wreck, and I love it.
That's okay. Choo, motherfucker. Let's. So what do you think, man?
Well, let me just say the full question.
I didn't realize.
I know. I did. I just want to make sure it's clear. I am a disgraced physician. Will the apocalypse provide me with a second chance? I mean, I think. Well, the obvious answer is, yes. You have a set of skills that's incredibly valuable, regardless of the situation that you find yourself in.
If you're a pariah in today's age, it doesn't matter anymore. When the world is cleansed, tabula rasa, we start from square one. Guess what? I don't care what happened to you and what you did. You're getting away with it now, man, because the streets run red with the blood of babies.
And those babies need to get their blood put back in them.
Right, exactly.
You're the only one with the know-how to do it.
Right, because you were discarded for taking blood out of babies.
You're a discarded physician.
You fucked around with too many babies' bloods.
But here's the thing. Now you got all that baby blood in a bunker down below your house.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to be coming to you.
We know you do.
Begging for that baby blood.
Show us where you keep the baby blood. If you shoot up baby blood, you get the baby's courage. So, so I think you've got an incredible skill set.
And here's the thing, and see, after the event, all of the rules are going to get thrown out the window. Right now, if you're a physician, and possibly the reason that you are a disgraced physician is that, the number one thing for doctors is do no harm. I feel like after the event, it's going to be like, well, maybe do some harm if you need to.
Yeah, use your doctorly abilities and your medical education, your knowledge of human anatomy to do harm however you need to.
Exactly.
You might know where the pressure points are or something and be able to karate chop the neck of a guy and have him fall to pieces.
That's the thing that a lot of doctors don't tell you is that every doctor knows how to fucking take you apart piece by piece.
They can
kick ass, but they can't because they made a promise to God.
I'm sorry,
That's
Lord.
the thing.
Forgive me for what I am about to do. So
that's why every doctor is a fucking master kung fu practitioner.
It's true.
They just can't.
They're just not allowed to. It's a Hippocratic oath.
Yeah.
First, do no harm. Second, don't karate chop anyone.
It's like, but after the apocalypse, the doctors will no longer be held back.
Right,
They'll
because
be able to be their truest selves, as terrifying and beautiful as that may be.
When demon nematodes and flying snails descend upon your house and eat the walls, you're going to need to be ready to go, all right, fuck the Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah.
I need to take all this baby blood and, paint the frame of my door like Genesis and ward off the angel of death.
What did you say they were coming after us?
I don't, demon nematodes?
Demon nematodes, yes.
and
Because the thing about demon
snails.
nematodes is that they don't like baby blood.
They don't. I wasn't very clear.
They don't hate it, but they don't like it.
No, they'll stay away. It's not like garlic and vampires. It's like you and me are baby blood.
It's like
don't go
exactly.
near the baby blood.
It's not like an aversion thing. It's just that they're grossed out because it's baby blood.
Right, and and I'm not saying that that's like the best usage of your education as a physician. That's just what came to mind because there's something wrong with my brain, and
No, I mean, look, we're not talking about the best. Like that best use of your education is the whole thing. We're talking about whether or not you will be provided with a second chance. And yeah, your skill set is still valuable.
So valuable. In fact, maybe even more valuable than before because back in in the day that we have now, we are bound by the law, right? The most you can get as a doctor is some money. And not money like they used to. Back in the day, doctors would make a fortune. These days, they get by.
Right. I know that because of Scrubs.
Right, yeah. Because
they said that on Scrubs.
They said that a lot of times.
I know that.
I'm assuming that's still true.
I would assume.
They
wouldn't... Zach Braff wouldn't lie to us.
No. I actually heard that apparently Scrubs, according to doctors who've watched it, they say it's the most accurate depiction of the life of a doctor in a hospital out of any show.
I'd buy that.
Yeah,
because the emphasis isn't on drama; it's on just it's not on big dramatic drama. It's simple human drama. But anyway, the apocalypse is bad and good. No, it's good.
Look.
People's
arms are going to be getting chopped off all the time. You're a surgeon.
Because you're going to have 4 of them and you're going to be very strong.
If you've got 4 arms and are very strong, you're flinging those arms around.
All 4 of those arms are going to be a target.
Yeah, and you're going to want to keep them if you can. So let's say, a blood boy comes and chops your arm off. You're going to want to grab that arm with one of your other arms, smack him across the face, and run to the nearest doctor.
Yes.
And... because and you'll be able to set up shop, maybe in an old abandoned hospital or insane asylum, maybe in the basement of some random home. But you can, as a doctor, you can heal people, and people are gonna need healing constantly. So you're always gonna have work, even if you did a little bit of crime. And today. Doesn't in the world to come? Yeah, little crime.
That's the thing. And this is honestly, if you're a disgraced anything, you're going to have a second chance in the event, and that is the beauty of the event. That's why we're looking forward to the event,
right? Because clean slate.
We all have shame. We all have skeletons in our closet.
Literally.
I've never committed malpractice,
but if you have,
you're good.
Yeah. that's really what is kind of wonderful about. Yeah, it really is. And there is going to be we're going to surprisingly enough, despite it being a world of violence and explosions and owls wielding knives, it's going to be an enlightened era.
And on that note, our Taco Bell's here.
You think is that okay?
Yeah, no, someone just knocked on the door. We ordered Taco Bell because we're professionals and we care about this podcast being good.
Hey, how's it going? Is that dead air?
I don't know.
Is it kind of? Thank you.
Well, they could probably hear that interaction.
Sound of that. What?
They could probably hear that interaction.
I hope they. I hope. Yeah. I didn't tip her enough.
I mean, you can do it on the app, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, I did, but I selected the lowest option they allow. Because I wanted to save like 20 cents.
I mean, I'm still going. I'm still recording.
Yeah, no.
They know that. The world knows you're a cheapskate now.
Yeah, well, you know what? They already knew that.
Right.
And
again, there's only 10 of them.
There's many of them who think I'm wonderful. That's actually what's happening, is that there's many listeners.
The many thousands of listeners across the country.
All right, so.
Right. Get ready to fucking hear us munching down on some burritos.
All right.
While we answer these questions. All right, where were we?
I don't know. Doctors, you're also going to need to heal a lot of sick people because disease... Oh my god, there ain't going to be a single thing walking the earth that isn't carrying a whole encyclopedia of diseases.
Right, and disease itself, I think, is going to be a weird kind of new animal that we're going to have to deal with. And that actually might be a problem for you. I mean, yeah, you're going to have a very specific set of skills, but that whole set of skills may... it could be obsolete by the time you actually have a chance to practice them again.
That's true. Who knows what... I mean...
We don't know what diseases are going to be.
Superbugs?
Diseases might be good after the event.
You never know.
Maybe diseases will give you 4 arms and make you very strong.
They might. And, the thing is, superbugs are already a problem right now. And if you think a little bit of penicillin is going to conquer the mega cold, you've got another thing coming for you.
Yeah.
People aren't just going to be sneezing and coughing anymore. They're going to be vomiting fire and, peeing bees.
See, the thing about the mega cold is that the germ itself is several times larger than the normal cold and also has like a small gun. It's just like a small gun that it has, and it shoots your red blood cells.
It does,
but it's like a gun, so it goes through them and your body. It kills you very quickly.
You gotta stay away from it. If you're a doctor, you're gonna be constantly exposed to these diseases. So, while you will have a second chance, you really got to be super careful. I mean, we all have to be careful out there. But you're going to want to wear 2 or 3 lab coats and lots of rubber gloves. So
as many lab coats and rubber gloves as you can.
And they might be hard to come by in the world to come. So condoms on each finger also works.
Yeah, that's another direction. I was going to just say stock up now, but yes, also condoms on all your fingers.
And maybe your head if you...
To keep you clean.
Yeah. Dorito taco is good stuff.
The next 30 seconds of this podcast is just going to be us eating Taco Bell ASMR.
I'm willing to commit to that. Let's do it.
I wonder if this is coming up, if I can see this on the GarageBand file. Our next question.
ASMR videos are a problem. I don't know if you've heard about it, but I saw this this video on YouTube where they were talking about how there's a problematic aspect of ASMR videos, and they showed there's this one channel that's got a lot of followers that's a little girl doing ASMR, but it's weirdly sexual. It was super disturbing. She was playing she was a cop in one video and arresting you, and
it was essentially just like a like the setup for a cop arrestee porno video, only without the porn and a child. So
This fucking episode of this podcast, it's just like mouth noises and that story. Like,
just mouth noises and shame.
Oh, God.
I'm a disgraced singer-songwriter. Will the apocalypse provide me with a second chance?
no.
No. There's no coming back from...
You got one. And we're destroying it with this podcast.
It's okay.
What? Hey, Will.
Write a book.
Hey, Will. What are the chances of me becoming horribly mutated?
100,000, 10, 20%.
It's kind of a dumb question, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, let's be real. Who was that?
We didn't write down the names for this one.
We should do that.
We should probably write down the
I'm
names
sorry, whoever it was. We're not giving you credit.
for all of our very real questions from our very real listeners.
There's no commitment here. You're just like... What? There's like no commitment to any element of this.
No, but it's also very freeing to know that no one's listening to the podcast, because that means that all of this is fine.
That's true.
It's like we can do whatever we want.
Do you think I could get away with saying slurs?
I don't want to try. I don't think I want to test. I want to push that button, but like, yeah.
You're under arrest.
Oh God. Oh no.
Hey. Anyway.
And so yeah, the chances of us becoming horribly mutated after the event, yes,
10
incredibly high.
billion%,
But the
yeah.
thing is, like, I think the way that this question is asked, it's phrased as, something that I think that they're worried about, and that is entirely the wrong way to be looking at it.
Interesting. Tell me more.
I think I know what I'm going. I've never edited anything out of the podcast. I'm gonna edit out that.
edit
fucking
that out?
Brain fart.
That's what you're gonna edit out?
That's the one thing. That's the thing. No, here's the thing. You want to know why the mutation is good. I think you know exactly what my response to that question is going to be.
You'll have forearms.
Forearms and be very strong. There's no downside to having forearms and being very strong. You want
true.
that.
That's true. But
You're gonna want to stand out there and get as close to as many oozing barrels of radioactive waste as you possibly can. Just get in there, lather yourself up in that shit, and get ready for the advantages that having forearms is gonna give you.
Okay, but like, let's say that we're wrong, and it just gives you cancer. What if you just get cancer instead? You die. You need to see a doctor.
And then that's exactly the thing. Is that look? There's going to be a lot of disgraced physicians that
That's true.
that need the work and are going to be desperate for it. So like you're gonna look. Yeah, you go. Best case scenario, you get forearms and become very strong. Worst case scenario, you get cancer. But there's going to be a lot of disgraced physicians looking for work. So,
Right.
like, that's not even that bad.
Right, and they're going to be looking for work. They're going to be willing to do it for cheap, and they're going to be willing to break some old ethical standards in order to give you the most effective treatment possible. And they may have forearms and be very strong, and they
You know how many scalpels you can hold with 4 arms?
4.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so you could operate on 4 cancer patients at the same time. And yeah. And so I can see that. And, there's also the chance you could just, grow the wings of a bird, or, get an extra leg, or a very, very large penis.
I was, man.
You were about to say that?
We're on the same page here.
We so are, man. You and I, we fucking... and that is going to really come in handy in the world to come. You can, because you're going to need...
What, the large
whatever.
penis?
Yeah. No, that's what I meant.
Just a big dong?
Yeah, I mean, it's more advantageous than people like to admit already.
Oh, God.
But,
like, is this going to be one of these podcasts?
yeah, I'm here to talk about what women like.
There's still time. This could become an alt-right podcast.
We can make this happen, man. I keep telling you, we can do
It's gonna
this.
finally be an alt-right podcast.
Listen, I got a glass of milk, and we're here to talk about.
And I won't fuck.
I will not masturbate because I lose power.
Yes.
And I need
Cum is
to be
strengthening
able
the body.
Right, and I need to be able to be as virile as possible if I'm going to prevent women from mixing with other races.
See? Oh,
Who
God.
I am worried
No.
are better in bed than I am, because that is the entirety of the alt-right platform, just a bunch of people worried that people of color are better in bed.
Look,
That's
you're
my
not
honest
wrong.
belief. I think like a good 70% of racism is fears of sexual inadequacy.
The question. So in terms of being
also where the
horribly
misogyny comes
look,
from, too.
So but that's the thing. To bring it back to being horribly mutated, if you got a big old dong in the apocalypse, that's how we got here. If you have like a big old dong during the apocalypse, that's not going to be something you're going to have to worry about.
True.
That, in a way, I think the mutation could cure racism by giving everyone a nice big old dong,
Everybody will have the same sized penis.
and no one will have any reason to be insecure.
Right, and it'll remove a lot of stereotypes, and it'll get a lot of people on the same page. You know what? We're more alike than we realize. And that's...
And it's not, like, even without like the penis thing, it's going to be hard to like get on someone's case for being black when you like don't have a face. You know,
That's true.
when your face is like upside down and backwards, and like you can only breathe
Backward.
through like a hole in your chest.
Yeah.
But then you also think that you're genetically superior to black people. Like that doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
You know?
In the world to come, not only will Freudian insecurities stop presenting themselves as racism and misogyny, but we'll also all be fucked up.
Yeah.
And nobody will be able to say I'm better than anybody else. I mean, people will still try, but the good news is you have forearms and are very strong. You can beat the shit out of them.
Exactly.
Or slice them up with your many scalpels.
Well, or just shame them with your big, beautiful mutant penis.
Well, I think in that particular scenario, hypothetical scenario, well, an evidence scenario, everybody's got the same big, beautiful penis.
That's right. That's the weird thing, is that you would think that, like, by the nature of mutation, because it's, like, just random changes in your genetics, you would think that it would be this kind of broad range of different kind of physical characteristics. But no, we're all going to have the same very large penis.
That is almost inevitable.
Yes.
Other potential mutations are still out there. We can't know for sure what kinds of rays will be being emitted by the toxic sludge that is raining from the sky 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And what effect that might have on your genetic makeup and the way those genes are expressed, we can't know for sure. Because, radiation itself may have mutated. And so, we've got mutant
Think
radio
about that
waves.
for a second.
Have you ever considered the possibility
of mutant radio waves?
Mutant radio waves.
Radioactivity?
Radio waves that have 4 arms and are very strong,
I shudder to think.
I'm shuddering.
We're both shuddering right now.
You can't see
it because it's a podcast, but we are shaken to our very cores at the very thought
of mutant radio waves that have mutated each other. I'm going to throw up.
You just ate so much Taco Bell,
I needed more.
and it was almost as if you waited until it was your turn to speak before taking every bite.
That's almost.
Like, I didn't want to point it out as you were doing it. Man.
It's almost as though.
If people ever want to know what Will Wood sounds like with a mouthful of gordita, it's like, this is the place to be.
I think that's probably a question people ask more often than I'd be comfortable with knowing.
I'm sure that there are many. I don't want to go down this road.
Let's go down this road. Let's go down this fucking road. Anyway.
Yeah. So what were we saying? Mutations are good. Accept it. Be a mutant. Be powerful.
Yeah.
Accept change and adapt.
You might grow a beak, turn into an eagle bastard man, and be able to tear out the throats of your enemies in one fell swoop. You may turn into a caterpillar beast some kind of moth beast where you turn into a caterpillar, then you turn into a chrysalis, then you turn into a fucking butterfly man. You never know. You might turn into an inside-out tiger, and nothing is more terrifying than a tiger with all of its sinews and muscle and heart on the outside.
Imagine for a second a tiger. Pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
What would be scarier?
Inside-out tiger. So, the mutations that there are going to be mutations. You're just going to need to be willing to roll the dice and risk the possibility that instead you're just going to get cancer.
Yeah.
But you might get cancer and become an ego bastard.
But that's the thing, is that if you get cancer, you might die, and then you know what happens? You rise from your grave.
As a zombie or a vampire.
I was going to say as an altered beast.
Or an altered beast. That is also possible. You're right, I apologize.
We were talking about how we're going to
should have known.
Talk as much about altered beast during the podcast as possible before we started.
All right, so what might happen if you expose yourself to radiation? Yeah, it might alter you into a beast.
Yeah. Hopefully.
One
can only hope.
You also could get cancer.
My favorite things, I think, about Altered Beast is that the way that they show you your character powering up is that, I mean, he gets buffer, which you would expect, but, like, his clothes just kind of, like, fly off. Like, right up until he becomes a wolf man. He's just, like, a extraordinarily beefy dude wearing nothing but, like, a pair of, like, briefs.
It's kind of hot.
I love it.
And,
it's so good.
He's a wolf man, I know he is, but, like, in the side-scroller with, like, the shitty graphics, he looks like a horse.
He does have something resembling a horse's head.
He's got, like, a little bit of a BoJack Horseman thing.
It's a very good game.
It is.
It's it's incredibly surreal.
We got, like, 10% into the second level, mind you. But,
I know.
But it was good.
I mean, the thing is, like, I knew going into it that it would be weird and surreal, but I wasn't, like, you're never, like, prepared. It's like hearing about The Room from, like, a lot of people and being like, oh man, The Room, I bet it's so crazy, and then you actually see it for the first time and you're like, holy fucking shit. Like, this is exactly as it was described, but I'm still surprised by it.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, you look at the art on the cartridge and you think, okay, this is like some 80s game where you're supposed to be badass, and then it's like, oh, I'm an altered beast, and then, like, and like but instead you're like a fucking Greek.
You're just like you're a
you're a Greek.
You're a very strong man, and then you punch skeletons,
and then Voldemort,
and then eventually you turn into a furry, and then
who can, like, turn into fire.
He can shoot fire with his hands, and he has a dash attack, and then
just it's an interesting...
Just like trying to parse what's happening from second to second while playing that game is most of the fun of playing that game.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's more embarrassing than anything else you've said on this podcast.
I've decided that my new policy going into this podcast is going to be actively try to say bad things. Like some of the artists I admire the most are the people who just say anything, and, like, I don't mean, like, say, go out of their way to be offensive, but go out of their way to just kind of let a filter go and just kind of say anything and then just go like, yeah, I said that. I don't know whether or not I meant it, but, I said it.
Exactly, and with that in mind, Will couldn't figure out Sonic the Hedgehog.
I could not figure out Sonic the Hedgehog. It's too fast for me.
Because of his feeble child brain.
It's
or maybe it's the opposite. I think maybe you just have, like, an old man's brain who, like, you see, like, too many things happening on the screen at once and you're like, I can't do it.
I got blood vessels broken in my brain.
It's like you did too much acid in 2012 and now you can't play Sonic the Hedgehog.
But what if, like, fucking, like, this was not this, like, what if the color red that you see isn't the same color that I see? So, in the world to come,
our next question,
brain damage won't be a hindrance anymore.
It won't be a hindrance. I feel like that's a theme that we kind of keep coming up with. When I don't want to say when we can't think of anything else to say, but it does come up a lot. It's like, hey, maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe it's a good thing. Well, I think that's kind of like really the moral of this podcast in a lot of ways is, hey, maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe it's a good
just thing. That being like
don't fight change, adapt.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it's a good thing. Like I think that's like kind of like it's like a Hakuna Matata,
You have to become an altered beast.
You have to alter into a beast. And
you have to be. It's not just the thing. You just can't become a beast. You have to become an altered beast. You have to change and grow. And you have to change and grow into a very strong, buff man with no clothes.
Very strong. And then a beast.
And then turn into a beast.
And an inside-out tiger and an eagle bastard man.
This podcast sucks.
That's okay. You know, I don't listen to podcasts.
No, it's like, honestly, like this. Like, the best thing that I think that ever happened to this podcast was me deciding that it was a bad podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
It's just definitely like, because oh man, this is so much better than trying to make something good.
No, when you came to me with the idea, I was like, all right, I'm willing to take on the challenge.
Yeah, no, there's no challenge here.
No.
We're just going to say we're just going to turn on a microphone, and if we say some things about the apocalypse, then we've succeeded.
Yeah, a couple of things.
If we say a couple things about the fucking... Our next question, will there still be mass communication after the event?
I think that,
We're going back to crows, baby!
Yep, that's right.
We're going back to crows.
You're basically going to need to be, tattooing shreds of human skin with your messages, wrapping them around a crow's foot, and just chucking it, and just hoping it's just like that you want it to reach.
Yeah, you're just going to be like, it's going to reach something. Like, and I think that's going to come into, like, you're gonna have to have that in mind when you're writing your messages. Like, you want to send a message to a specific person. That's just not an option.
It's going to be tough to, anyway.
You're just going to be a gachapon of who...
what?
It's
gazpacho.
Like...
What are you saying?
Like, you know those, like, things at grocery stores, the little capsules, and you put a quarter in, and you turn it, and then, that's a gachapon.
Wow, I've never heard that word before. Is that, like, Japanese, or
I think
Italian,
I think it might be... I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong one.
Hey, put the corner
it's
in
a
gachapon! Put the gachapon... You know what my pizza place needs? It needs a gachapon! We still have a gazpacho in the gachapon. That's what I want. I want to go to a pizza place that has a gachapon and gazpacho. That's what I want. Alright. Fucking.
But what I mean is that it's gonna be like, it's gonna be random who you get your message to. Which is and that on its own presents its own... I mean, obviously that presents a whole host of problems. Chiefly being is that, nothing can be secret. If you're trying to, transmit information from person to person, you're going to have to send a messenger. You can't rely on the crows. Because the crows are going to go to, they're crows.
Right, and even if you could assemble some kind of ham radio out of the rubble... Even if you found an old, radio of some kind, and you were able to get a signal into the airwaves, good luck with it not being interrupted by other mutant radio waves. Mm-hmm. It's going to be really tough to tune into anything. Television's going to be nigh impossible.
Mutant radio waves feed on other radio waves.
They
like
eat
zombies,
each other.
And then they mutate them.
Right, and so, might you be able to transmit some messages now and again? Maybe.
But you run the risk of adding to the mutant radio wave population.
Right. And you're only going to make the sky more filled with mutation. Mm-hmm. And it's only going to give... If you better be willing to give somebody, maybe even an enemy, 4 arms and make them very strong.
I mean, that's the other thing, though. If you do want to have 4 arms and be very strong, just flip on your radio and stand next to it. And hope for the best.
Right. Also could give you cancer.
But
or both.
Both.
And that's the price you have to be willing to pay.
Maybe one of your mutations will make it so that you have cancer, but it's not a big deal.
Right. And in the world to come, your life expectancy and quality of life are going to be decreased in a lot of ways anyway. Maybe it's a good thing. It's the moral of the story.
So maybe it's a good thing
that you have cancer. I gotta stop. I just need to public statement.
Doing this podcast.
Public statement.
Cancer is bad.
I don't mean... there isn't a single word that's coming out of my mouth that I believe in.
Yeah. Maybe we should put that somewhere on the fucking iTunes page. Just be hey, this is...
The opinions expressed in this podcast are not a reflection of literally anything.
I know we say a lot of shit about, vampires and stuff.
Those things are true.
That's...
But anytime we're talking about anything that could possibly offend you, trust me,
then it's fake. But if you're laughing, then it's actionable advice.
Oh my god, my career is over. It's okay. According to you, I don't really have much of one anyway. So, you know.
That's not what I said. I said that nobody's listening to this podcast specifically.
I know.
There's like people out there listening to your music. They just apparently don't give a shit about the podcast.
That's good.
That's good.
That's
because that
good.
means we can do anything.
Right. Once they start
can do
catching on, we
anything
have to
and say
delete
anything.
it all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We can say slurs. We're not going to because I'm not into that.
Right.
But,
No,
like,
I'm not either. I don't want to give the idea that like I said that because I'm like dying to say slurs. It was.
I can see it in your eyes.
Just
You're fucking itching for it.
come on, man. Just one.
But I don't know. Is there anything? Do we have anything? We've just like fully broken the fourth wall in this episode. Is there?
We can put it back up.
We always do. Just never with this intensity.
It's something's wrong. What were you? What was the question?
The question was
mass communication.
Mass communication. Do we have anything left to say about
the
that?
internet is gonzo. If
Right.
you can't Google shit, which is why we're here. You will not be able to visit any website, any public access information of any kind. We're your go-to resource here. So
this is the thing is that, like, of course, the sooner the event can happen, the better. But like the idea is that by the time it happens, there will be like, we will have encompassed the whole of all human knowledge in the many episodes of this podcast.
Right.
And then you can just like listen to it, preferably while sitting in front of some sort of altar, with candles lit,
naked,
various runes drawn on the walls and your body,
masturbating,
and that part's look, if the mood strikes you, then I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah. And because there won't be an internet, you're going to need to want to take notes here, guys. So mass communication is going to be really tough. I'm going to recommend that you learn how to use a tattoo gun so you can tattoo the shreds of tattered flesh that are going to be laying around in the street, and strap it to a mutant crow and hope that it doesn't peck your eyes out before it flies into God knows where.
Because paper is all going to be burned. Paper is going to be burned up right away.
You're not going to be able to find paper. It's going to be fucking tough.
Paper is not built to last.
No.
You know what it is tanned and leathered human skin.
Yep. And might we find that the trees of the future will be even easier to pulp into paper to create parchment? It's possible, but we can't bank on it.
And also, like, a paper note does not command the kind of respect that a skin note does.
No, skin note it's really what it's all about.
Because that's the thing is, like, you write your secrets on that skin note, and then the crow flies it to your enemies. They're going to think twice on acting on that information if that note is written in human skin.
Right, exactly.
They're going
you need to make
you.
sure that any information that you try to send, any communication that you try to send over a large distance, you're going to want to make sure that it comes with a warning. And when it comes down to trying to reach a large group of people, then it's about trying to make your communication palatable. Because once again, you're not going to be able to go on TV and make a statement. You won't be able to blog anything. If you want to make a statement to a large group of people, you got to paint it in giant letters on the remnants of a billboard. You got to learn how to use smoke signals.
You gotta find a mutant with big vocal cords.
Yeah.
With big extra vocal cords, and they can talk real loud.
Those will be out there.
Yeah.
Invariably. And they'll have the head of a snake and the arms.
Which you wouldn't think it is like, is the perfect shape for projecting sound.
But it actually is. It's because the hissing mechanism in the throat of a pre-apocalyptic snake.
We didn't have to go into it, but I'm glad you did.
Well, I feel like every bit of information that they can get.
That is true. We did just say that we were trying to encompass the total sum of all human knowledge.
Right. So let's talk about the vocal cords of a snake.
Okay.
The hissing mechanism in the throat of a snake, when combined genetically with the vocal cords of a human being, create a reverberating and resonant box of sound.
Yes. That
explodes in the throat of the snake-headed man with the arms of a griffin, which are actually just the arms of like an eagle, but a griffin is probably with the arms of a griffin.
Wait, no, the arms of a griffin would just be lion legs.
No, I'm pretty sure a griffin.
No, because
a chimera.
No. Wait, a griffin has the body of a lion and the head and wings of a. A chimera also has the body of a lion.
No, a chimera is a chicken.
That's not. Don't fucking test me on
I'm
this.
pretty sure chimera's got a chicken in
I
there.
can't tell if you're being serious. or
I
not.
feel like there's a chicken somewhere involved in the chimera.
You're thinking of a basilisk. I think.
No, basilisk is...
I think a chicken might not.
There's a chicken involved in one of these fuckers. I don't know which one.
I mean, when we were making the movie, you also thought that Quetzalcoatl was a chicken. So like,
Quetzalcoatl, I thought he was a bird. I didn't say chicken.
actually, I think Quetzalcoatl might literally translate into snake bird. So like, maybe
So fucking win.
I can
All
think.
right. So
You're
when
both right.
Quetzalcoatl rises from the volcano, no wait. Oh yeah, that's what it was. When the snake-headed, griffin-armed beasts
Yes.
with giant vocal cords rise from the volcanoes, if you can learn how to tame them and teach them your message, and just shake their head a lot and scream into their ear, they'll transmit your message for miles. But you've got to
Yeah.
make sure you're covering your ears.
Loud voice, tiny impressionable brains.
Yeah, exactly. Because snakeheads.
Yeah.
They're dumb.
They're
Snakes
fucking
are
lizard
fucking
people.
idiots.
Yeah.
So- fucking idiots. Snakes are goddamn morons.
Yeah.
So
People are always worrying about fucking lizard people now. There will be lizard people later, but they'll be very impressionable, but also very loud.
the lizard people that we're worried about right now, they're subtle and sneaky, and they're not real. The lizard people of the future, though, giant,
Literally the opposite.
very loud. Yeah.
They're extraordinarily loud and very stupid
dumb.
and not capable of manipulating anyby.
Yeah.
They're basically living megaphones.
They are, and it's the perfect storm for. I don't know. Anything else to add to the mass communication question?
No, I think we covered that pretty well.
Yeah.
God damn, we are fucking moving along here.
All
We're making
right.
really good time.
What's the next question we got here?
Let's go with where should me and my family settle after the event?
Okay, I actually have been thinking about this a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
When it comes down to what kind of terrain you want, you're going to want a forest. Trees are fat fuckers, and they can protect you from giant bullets.
Right.
And, they also cut down on the dust storms that blow in from the west, and the radioactive breeze.
Yeah, you can make paper out of them if you're a weak coward.
Yep. And you can cut them down with karate chops if you've got sharp enough hands.
Yeah, if you're a doctor, you can cut them down with your bare hand.
Right.
Because you hold secret knowledge that you can never use.
We're on to you, Doc. We're fucking
you, doctors.
doctors of the world. We're on to you. We know you're fucking hiding something.
We know you're holding it back.
You got karate skills and a gallon of baby blood in your freezer downstairs. So when it comes to terrain, the woods are the safest area. You've got essentially almost like barriers everywhere around you. Thick woods will prevent larger beasts from altering you. But
By altering, we mean tearing into little pieces.
right,
with their
that's
teeth
an
and
altered
hands.
state. You're an altered person if you're in pieces.
If you're in little shredded, bloody pieces.
Right. So if you're doomed to wander the wilderness, you're gonna want to be in a mountainous area, not a mountainous area, a forested area. If you are not, believe it or not, suburbia. The urban wasteland is going to be home to a population that is too large to be safe in. There's too many people who have too many arms and are too strong, and you're going to be in a lot of danger. Suburbia, lower population density, and a wider variety of buildings to hold yourself up in a wider variety of different types.
And look, a lot of minivans are going to have a lot of gas in them.
Yeah. The
You're
gas
gonna
may
need
have
that gas.
mutated,
Into-
but that's a roll of the dice you
Look,
got.
the gas may have 4 arms and be very strong, but it's still going to be valuable.
Exactly. And if you can't sell the gas, you can often drive off into the sunset to escape beasts and other people you're afraid of. I think, for instance, one type of building that we both recommend would be a school. And here's why. A high school, middle school, whatever, will have a large variety of supplies built into it. Food, sustenance, different types of weapons. A wood shop is a great thing
wood
to
shop
have.
is a fucking essential thing.
Yeah,
in
and
the apocalypse.
right. And so, if you can find yourself a high school to hole up in, it's got brick walls. It's got multiple floors, so that if the bottom floor gets invaded by too many zombie spiders, you can go up a floor and you're a little bit safer. But they're not so tall that you get chased up to the top and can't get back down.
I just want to say that we spent the last 45 seconds readjusting my computer and trying to find a place to plug it in, and we didn't even fucking break a sweat.
No,
we just kept on going, and it was real good and real smooth. And no one noticed, and we didn't drop the ball even a little bit.
Yeah, we're doing a good job.
We did a good job, and we're good at making podcasts.
We're
and you
very
should keep
good
listening.
at making podcasts. We're amazing.
I'm sorry. So the schools are good, and you should be in them.
Also, just a lot of big rooms where you can hold a lot of people.
Exactly.
Say the
And that's
school
the thing.
gym.
Yeah. Well, just like any complex, basically, is something that you want to gain control over. You own a house with rooms. Oh God, now you're a landlord. Landlord is the fucking it's the Charmander to a warlord's Charizard.
Right.
That is where you start.
Yeah. And the larger piece of land that you are the lord of, the more power that you have. You could be a Charmeleon very quickly. I really
just for specificity, what is the Charmeleon between a landlord and a warlord?
You're a man lord. You're a lord
of men.
You're a lord of men and beasts. A man-beast lord.
Exactly, and I think we need no further specification on that.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't dare.
Move on.
Funny thing, I always. This is totally unrelated, but I hate the word landlord.
Yeah, it sounds weirdly medieval.
It's lord
like
of the land. It's like it's an apartment, all right? And you live downstairs.
Calm down.
You're not the lord of the land.
You bought a building.
You get a knock on the door because your rent is late.
Russian crime money.
It is I, the lord of the land, come to collect $600.
Swear fealty. I want my landlord to be followed around by a damn knight.
Yeah,
and
a fool.
And a fool. Just a fucking guy in a fucking
Jingly hat.
A fidgety D. Yeah. Just fucking do a little dance.
Just dissing the landlord.
Like,
oh, your majesty is most rotund, or something like that. And he's got that voice, too. Oh, your majesty. I hate that voice. I'm really embarrassed that I made that voice. Anyway, a complex, or a complex building in suburbia, a place that's not too crowded. A rural high school would be the perfect place to hide if you can get your hands on that. Now,
a lot of entry points, a lot of exit points.
A lot of escape routes.
Exactly. A good view of the area around you. You don't want too many buildings crowding things up.
Yep. You've got fields. You've got
yeah.
a lot of room between you and everybody else. And you got a lot of just various tools and supplies at your disposal. And that's true for any large complex, whether it's a school or a hospital or a or whatever.
Well, the hospital, like the doctors are going to be there, and you can't fuck with them.
No, you don't want to fuck with the doctors.
They'll kill you in a second.
Right. If you're there for any reason other than medical attention, they will likely take you. But it's,
Especially if you're a baby with a lot of blood.
Right. If you're a baby with a lot of blood, you're going to want to go to high school. You're going to want the wood shop. But,
You can quote us on that.
that being said, we're giving out this information for free. There is a good chance that a lot of high schools will be taken. And so there's going to be a lot of conflict no matter where you go. We would recommend high school before hospital, though.
Yeah.
So you and your wife should settle down in high school.
In a high school.
In a high school.
I don't know, maybe raise a family.
Yeah.
Become lords of the land.
Lords of beast and man.
Repopulate the earth from that high school.
With Beastmen.
with Beastmen.
Yeah.
Something altered beast joke.
Exactly. There we go. I
We
feel
did
like we
it.
haven't actually told any Altered Beast jokes.
No, we basically
said the
we
phrase
acknowledged altered beast's existence
several times.
and said, "Man, it's fucking crazy, right?" Anyway,
None of those
like,
things have been.
these
jokes,
are not
though.
jokes. These are just like acknowledging that a weird game exists.
One that nobody has played.
I
Nobody's
think
listening to
Altered
this
Beast is
anymore.
actually pretty popular. Like, I
Not-
think it's like.
Yeah, but the people who listen to this have never played Altered Beast, most likely.
You sure? I feel like there might be. I don't know. I feel like there could be a crossover between people who would listen to this. Well, I mean, okay. There's people who would listen to this podcast, and then there's the people who are listening to this podcast,
yeah.
and that's like 10 of the fans of your music.
Listen, man.
So it's a very weird cross section of people who are probably listening to this right now.
Nobody would have ever thought that Altered Beast's main demographic actually turned out to be bisexual teenagers in 2019. It's never had. Nobody knew.
It actually, man, if you fucking look at that game, it makes perfect sense.
It actually does.
That is a
At the
fucking-
time, they wouldn't have known.
You
but-
get you gain power by getting more beefy and more naked in that game,
And that's-
until you just erupt into like your primal animal state.
It's like the most bisexual
Sexual.
thing I've
It's-
ever heard in my life.
it's-
Because it's very heterosexual in its presentation, but very homosexual in its
execution.
Yeah, exactly. Bisexual. I mean, just altered.
Bisexual beasts.
Rise
where to
from your
find
grave. Anyway, I actually keep referring to them as bisexual teenagers, but I think some of them are bisexuals in their 20s too.
That's good.
There are no straights who listen to it though.
Not a one.
Nope, none of
Not
you
a
are
single
straight. You
straight.
might think you are, but actually, no.
Not yet. You don't know yet.
You don't know.
You're in for a beautiful journey.
You watched the Capgrass video. You're not straight.
like you watched the whole crabgrass video. You're a fucking.
You are a gay.
You're a gay.
You have become a gay.
And you need to accept that.
And that's, I'm a bit of a gay myself. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that or anything like that. It's just it's wrong
wasn't.
if you don't, come out to yourself at least. Because you're hiding from yourself. And that's not healthy. It's gonna you can't keep that bottled up.
Hey, what are we talking about?
I forget. What was the next question?
I don't know. Now Will's reading the questions because we
I'm
moved my
tired.
computer to plug it in.
Yeah, Chris is still the host. Chris is still the Lord of the Land here. I'm just reading the
God, is that what I am?
You're the Lord of the Land and of Beast and Man. You
I mean, it's
are
weird because we're
the bisexual beast.
I am the host, but we are co-hosts.
Sure, but
It is my look. I take the podcast home and edit it.
Yeah, this is your thing.
So, like, what is my title then? I'm the host, and you're what? You're my bitch. You're like, you're like I'm like the host and the bitch. And then,
I'm your host, Chris Dunn, and I'm his bitch.
what's your next fucking question?
Will the apocalypse have vegan options?
Weirdly enough, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it depends on your definition of vegan
you
because
can
like
always eat dirt.
you can always eat dirt.
Dirt isn't gonna go away.
Because here's the thing: eventually, that like if it, I think it actually circles back to the first question regarding mutations because you might gain the ability to draw sustenance from the sun like a plant.
That is quite possible. But then if
you
become
yourself could become, that's the thing. You yourself become the very vegetables that you once ate. You suddenly know what their experience is, and oh God, it all comes flooding back to you. The horrors that you have perpetrated, the kind, sweet, innocent vegetables that you devoured so heartlessly. Now you know how they felt.
Veganism is every bit as cruel.
You sat in the sun and you accepted its rays into your body, and you became in that moment one with the earth and connected with all things.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you just like feel bad for all those carrots you ate.
That's so cool,
you
man. You
realize
ever
there were
tried
people.
DMT? Sorry.
Living in the apocalypse is going to be very comparable to having done DMT.
It's gonna be Joe Rogan is gonna do really well. in the
He's gonna be a fucking king.
He's very strong.
He's already very strong. He's halfway there.
He doesn't even need extra arms, honestly, and he's done DMT.
And he has a podcast, which
Right.
is like fucking.
That's also going to be
the number
super
one
important.
thing.
It's not, because mass communication isn't going to be so easy. But if you have a podcast in the world to come, it's got to be live.
Well, it depends
in
on
front
how
of
you
a live
leverage
audience.
that podcast afterward. You have the podcast now, and then you reap the benefits of the podcast after the event.
We will be kings in the
We will.
world to come.
I mean, that's the hope. That's where we're doing this.
You're all going to respect us so much and
Yeah.
think that we're smart, good boys.
You're going to have so much gratitude for the very good advice that we've given you,
And
you will worship us.
you'll seek us out and be like, what were you saying earlier about the Polish people and that are gonna do the movie? What did they say?
You
You said we were gonna send the movie to Poland.
Oh,
and
they don't
were-
know about this.
Yeah, no, I was asking you to I was just never mind. I was gonna.
What?
You said that the Polish would invent a new type of airplane that also sucks your dick.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're just referencing a conversation that we had off mic.
Yes, that is correct.
Right. We were thinking of submitting the movie that we made to a film festival in Poland, and we were joking about the idea of like them sending us a fucking like plane tickets and paying for it, which would not happen.
And we were joking about
Yeah.
them being particularly hospitable because they love us so much.
They sent us a plane they invented that sucks dicks. That was the big funny joke that I made.
It was very funny.
That
and I wanted to just use it, but then I was like, no, I don't want to use a joke that you came up with. I did that with the phrase blood tornado in the first episode, and I felt really bad about it as soon as it left my mouth. I was like, damn it, I shouldn't have done that. Blood tornado, copyright 2019, Chris Dunn. Where was I? Will there be vegan
What
options?
is this episode? Will there be
It's
vegan
the best
options?
one.
Yes.
Will there be a vegan option?
We're gonna just keep saying that every episode we're working on is the best episode of the podcast, and eventually it'll be true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care.
Yes,
I'm the
this is-
bitch.
This is you
is
don't have to
very-
do any of the work. I show up once a week with a microphone, and you talk to you, and then you just forget. And then, well, actually, that's not true because like the first podcast I initiated, but like the second two, you were like, "Hey, wait, when are we going to do the next one?"
I mean,
And I'm
I
like,
enjoy it.
Oh fuck, I make a podcast.
I like
I
being
forgot.
the bitch. You know, I don't always want to dom.
This is purely a business relationship.
Yeah, we don't actually like each other.
Like this is,
We don't actually ever hang out.
and it's going to be bad because we're never going to make any money off of this podcast.
And when we're done, when the microphone turns off, so does our friendship.
We're not even going to say goodbye to each other.
No,
I'm
he's just gonna leave.
He's going to go upstairs and I'm going to pack up and walk home. You drove me here.
Yeah, but
You drove me an hour to Asbury Park so that we can do this. And then and as soon as this microphone turns off, I'm going to walk. I don't know, how long will it take?
Doesn't
A day
matter.
to
I
get
understand.
back?
You are so disgusted by me that you'd rather walk home than spend an hour and 10 minutes in the car with me.
I'm extremely homophobic.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm gay, and he doesn't like that. And you know,
I don't like Will Wood's free will in 2019 sexuality.
I like men.
Your sexuality is fucking inscrutable.
What does that even mean?
What do you like and when do you like?
What do I like and when do I like it?
I don't know, because like I've had conversations with you where it, like you sound like a full on bisexual, and then I've had other conversations with you where you don't sound like a full on bisexual.
I guess
like,
I don't even
know what
like.
you are.
I don't even bother identifying anymore.
Explain your sexuality to no one on this podcast about the apocalypse. that we
Okay,
make.
I used to consider pansexual to be a really good adjective for it. And then somebody told me that the word pansexual was insulting, and I was like, all right, I'm done with words. Because the reason I was using pansexual is because somebody said that bisexual wasn't inclusive enough. So since, I'm not allowed to have a word for my identity, I don't bother having one.
That's a good plan.
I like people who have bodies and are sexy.
You like anyone who is skinny and has blue hair.
Listen, I
As long
feel
as they're
personally
skinny and have
attacked.
blue hair, Will is fucking into it.
Listen, hey, they also also a small nose. I like a small nose.
Small nose, skinny, and blue hair.
And big eyes. I like people who look like Tim Burton characters.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's pretty much what I just said.
Kind of, but Tim
That
Burton
was what was
characters don't
implied.
necessarily have blue hair.
That's true.
But
But I feel like when they manifest in real life, most of the time they do.
people with blue hair would love to hear that. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like boys who look like girls and girls who look like boys, and neithers who I don't fucking even know what they look like, because apparently boys and girls aren't even functional words anymore. So I like people, and hearts not parts, man, but also parts.
But also parts are good.
I like parts.
And hearts.
Yeah.
Hearts and parts.
Yeah, really the phrase hearts not parts, which is like a thing that I've heard a lot of like self-identifying pansexuals use, is like kind of like, hey man, all right, don't get up on a pedestal. You still like a dick. It's like, just because it's not the reason you like somebody, like way to just like shame the entire heterosexual population. Being like, oh, you only like pussy and you don't like people. It's like, no, that's not what it is. They just hearts not parts suggests that everybody who's not pansexual is only in it for parts, and it's like, nah, dude, fucking pansexuals are in it for parts too. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm really wrong. Maybe I'm being super offensive to so many people right now.
Will Wood, queer hero to straight men.
So I'm here to defend you guys from the gays who are coming to take your honor. I'm sorry, I do feel bad about the way that some members of the LGBT plus community, a community that I belong to.
We're getting spicy on this one.
That's right, we're going there.
Isn't like we keep joking about this being an all-right podcast? Now it's gonna become one. Actually.
Listen, it's not. No, there's nothing.
You're actually saying the opposite of the alt-right thing, which is that no one should fuck ever because it's shameful,
or that like fucking being not straight is bad. No, I'm just saying, like, some of the people who I consider my friends, will sometimes be like, straight people are so fucking lame. And I get, like, the idea, like, power structures punching up versus punching down and all that jazz. I do get it. But, like, also, like, don't be a dick, Like, straight people still have feelings and fall in love, too. And so, like, and this is coming from somebody who identified as straight for, like, a lot of his life before realizing that was, like, no. And so, like, I know, like,
you were kissing boys at parties for so long while still identifying as straight.
Yeah, that's right, baby. I was, yeah. And
you were, like, actively identifying as a straight person. And, like, I remember having conversations with you where you were like, nah, man, that would be gross. But then you would, like, you would go to a party and get fucking wasted and make out with a skinny boy with blue hair. Like,
other than the getting wasted part, that's the life, man. Being conveniently straight. It's great. I can still do it. I'm just straight passing. I can, I can take off the dress.
I was about to say, you can take off your earrings and like,
hey, we're going a little bit over time.
Oh God,
because we had to talk about identity politics
instead of
the
thing that this podcast is about. We can never do this again.
No, I'm very worried about how the words I said will be received.
I don't think you actually said anything bad. I think maybe you said some things that if people aren't actually listening to what you're saying, no. I'm already I think you're fine.
I'm just a really nervous person.
Yeah.
And I'm always worried that something I say is going to offend somebody, and I think it's because I grew up on like the right wing internet, and then became an adult in like the left wing punk scene, and so like I am like really familiar with how testy right wingers think liberals are, and I'm also really familiar with how testy liberals are.
I will say that upbringing has made you one of the most ideologically interesting people I know. Just like, it's so fucking hard to pin you down sometimes. Just like what your beliefs are.
Fuck you. My beliefs are be gay, do crimes, smoke drugs, and drop out of school.
Hell yeah. Do we have any other questions for this advice show that we do?
Yeah, this one comes from, I don't know, we didn't write down the names, which, that was a mistake. Don't make that mistake again, writing down these.
Oh God,
these
we
names.
switched. This computer switched sides, and now I'm the bitch.
The last question of this episode of Life in the World to Come is: was my theater degree a waste?
Yeah. I mean, that's not like you're fucking. That's for now, man.
Yeah.
We both have unfinished theater degrees.
Yeah, we didn't even
like,
finish
we're the
that.
wrong people to ask because we were both theater majors who didn't fucking finish.
No,
you're fucking fucked, man.
Yeah.
This is fucking worthless.
You shouldn't have finished either.
Just like fucking go be an actor, idiot. Like,
Yeah,
just go out there and
fucking
audition
asshole.
for shows.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna learn anything? Jesus Christ.
All right.
But the other thing that they don't tell you is actually after the event, Broadway is going to be just as competitive as it is now.
Hey, this wait, what?
No, I'm saying, like, you think Broadway is competitive now, but after the event, it's going to be a lot more competitive.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because you're going to be fighting over resources.
This I got distracted by this taco sauce packet because you know how
We're just not doing the show this week, huh? We're just gonna talk about Taco Bell and our sexuality and
I'm lightheaded because I'm lightheaded from laughing and from the anxiety of having defended straight people to the LGBT community. I'm very afraid of that. Listen, guys, don't take away my membership card. I'm still one of you. Anyway, this taco sauce packet says, "Too bad you're not single." And I don't know what that means. Is this Taco Bell sauce packet trying to fuck?
Is this Taco Bell
it's
sauce
hot
packet
sauce.
trying to encourage you to be, like, pushing you towards infidelity? Like,
I don't know. Too bad you're not single. I don't want fire sauce near my cock anyway. It's gonna hurt.
Taco Bell, fuck your girlfriend, right? Oh, man.
That being said, ladies, I am emotionally unavailable. So, physically though, come on down.
That's a weird way to end the podcast.
Oh yeah, no, we're ending it now.
It's just by you
Should I
openly like being like, "Hey, fuck me."
No, I actually don't though.
I'm using this platform to.
My medication makes me impotent. I have no sex drive whatsoever. So don't try and fuck me. I have no interest. I am medically asexual. So I'm actually back out of the LG. I'm no longer bisexual, pansexual. I'm now asexual, just temporarily, probably for a little while. Anyway, so that's my stick.
God, what an episode!
Next episode, we're going to talk more about you. We talked too much about my shit today. We're going to talk about you and your life.
The internet is never going to find out what my sexuality is. It's not one of the normal ones. Or is it?
One of the normal ones. Like, heterosexual and... pussy. That's... All right. How do you turn off GarageBand?
The normal sexuality where a man likes a woman?
Yeah, that's the normal one. Not the one where a woman likes a man. That's weird.
That doesn't happen.
No.
Oh God. Okay, now we actually have to turn the
Sex is something that women.
I don't believe
men.
this.
No, please.
These aren't
never,
things you believe.
Don't quote.
We gotta fucking backpedal before we turn this podcast off.
Hold on a second. We gotta just add like 1 or 2 more minutes just to add a too late disclaimer.
Let's spend the next 2 minutes apologizing.
I have nothing but love and respect for the Italian community. I have nothing but love and respect for the Polish community. What was the word again?
I've got your pie.
And I hate the Swedes. That's right. I hate Swedish people.
No, Italian people are fine, gay people are fine, and Swedes can fuck right off. Oh shit! Hey,
what?
This week's episode is brought to you by Stamps.com. Fuck Stamps.com.
Fuck Stamps.com.
Dick Stamps.com.
Dude,
you fucking stupid piece of shit asshole.
It's getting
Stamps.com.
worse. It's getting worse with them. It's getting worse with them.
Retaliating? What are they doing?
Oh yeah, now they're saying we are. We have reached the absolute resolution for this matter. We are unable to, we are unable to refund you any further. It is not our policy. And I replied with like, bitch, you made up the policy, and this is pennies to you. Don't give me that unable shit. I know that you can pay me back. It is your decision. What you just said right there was like a weirdly passive aggressive way of saying I don't want to. So,
like if you have $30 to give the McElroy brothers for a fucking shout out on their podcast, you can give Will his $30 back.
That's right.
You have $30.
You have $30.
You shitheads.
You
fucking weak cowards.
Spineless milk toast.
Why don't you fucking crawl out of your fucking hole and come down and talk to us like men?
Hey, let's cut this off at 15 minutes. I mean, an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, 7 hours. An hour and 15 minutes, which is in 45 seconds. Any last words?
Stamps.com, come to us. Fucking bring whatever weapon you choose.
I have no bigotry.
You choose the weapon, and we will and we will face you in Mortal Kombat. Stamps.com.
I have no hatred or prejudice or bigotry to anyone except for employees of Stamps.com. That's my statement.
All right,
Too late for a disclaimer.
I
think maybe put a disclaimer in like text somewhere when you post this to wherever this goes.
What are you, a fucking coward?
Yes.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid.
Are you afraid of
the consequences
someone listening
of my
to
words?
to your words and being mad at them?
Yes.
Well, that's reasonable. Maybe I'll do that then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fuck.
I turned it back on.
We turned it back on.
I turned it back on. Subscribe to us on iTunes.
Subscribe.
Please.
Subscribe.
Please, no one's listening, please.
Subscribe to us on iTunes. And then also,
fucking, I don't know. What do shithead YouTubers say? Fucking share it. I don't know.
Subscribe.
Fucking like and subscribe to our fucking podcast.
And send us your questions at lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com. And you can reach me at 551-795-4029. That's right. And
what?
Also, I was gonna another contact thing. Oh, if you're interested, we're looking for musical guests for upcoming
we were gonna
episodes.
do that.
Send your terrible music to our terrible podcast at lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com.
Would you like your terrible music to be heard by tens of people? Would you like your music? Would you like your music to be heard by 10 of people?
You know what? A lot of people. A lot of
that's
people
enough.
Honestly, a lot of people in the music scene would pay good money for that.
For
we
just
should
10
charge
people
for
to...
it. Yeah.
We won't.
That's how promoters
fucking...
in the indie circuit do it. You know?
We're just trying to make friends.
Yeah, we need friends. All right.
We're very lonely. Goodbye.
Goodbye.